Why Fortnite's multiverse experiment failed.
Fortnite is a game that has reached heights that no other game has managed to, but at the same time, it has also fumbled numerous opportunities in a way that genuinely hurts my soul. Do you remember when Peter...
I think Fortnite has done too many collabs. I still love Fortnite as a game, and I think Fortnite will always have like a top 10 game of all time. I don't play it as much because I think they do, hey, this is Star Wars for the 15th time. We're doing a 90th anime collab. Like it's all about like money churning now more than like content in the game itself. And I think they're really fully transitioning into like a UEFN. They're trying to make their game Roblox. That's what it is. Fortnite is trying to make itself a custom game service like platform where eventually Battle Royale will be dead and you will just go on Fortnite to play other games, right? Like you'll play custom Fortnite games that just have different servers and different discoverability. The issue is that space is like impossible to get into, and I just don't think that most Fortnite custom games are good. Obviously, I think Roblox is under a lot of fucking fire, but some devs in Roblox make really good games. I think more percentage-wise, Fortnite games are like shitty box battles that I don't care about, right? Like, they're appealing to a casual player base by trying to transition into a Roblox duplicate, but the majority of Fortnite fans are sweats that are diehard fans of the game and want to play it competitively. So to make that transition, they're effectively just like they're just dragging the people that love the game on fucking asphalt, peeling their skin off, trying to like fucking reach for the stars on like who they're gonna get. Like I feel like they should really foster Battle Royale and make that like its own forever game, which they still do, but you could tell they divert a lot of their attention into like the custom game space.
Peter Griffin was added to the game, everyone was confused as to why we had to get this muscular version of Peter instead of his original design. It was a great skin and all, but why couldn't we get the original Peter? Some people said that Peter had to be muscular because if he wasn't, he would have had too large of a hitbox, while Seth MacFarlane...
Do certain skins in Fortnite have different hitboxes?
Arwen said that he heard Peter's actual body would have been too much for the budget, and I could have lived with either of those explanations. They would have been fair enough, if it wasn't for the fact that the giant chicken from the same show was added the same season with an arguably...
That's as big, if not larger, than Peter.
...bigger hitbox than Peter could have ever had. You see, the thing about Fortnite's development direction is that it is constantly sabotaged by poor judgment and out-of-touch decisions. Have you ever seen someone who's so rich that they don't even know what to do with their money?
Dude, I think it's like the letdown of like new season events too. You remember when the new season events and Kevin the Cube and shit, and it was such a big deal. Everybody cared about it. When it was like 2018, 2019, the Fortnite concerts, all those events, it was like, holy fuck, dude, there's a Fortnite event. I'm not going to work today. I'm staying home and logging on Fortnite 4 hours before I need to. And then I think they lost the plot. Similar to how like Marvel has created such a big multiverse that if you don't watch all the Marvel movies, there's like references that you don't get. It's the same thing in like the Fortnite verse where the new season events, it's just like stuff's happening and it doesn't make sense. Like, oh, Star Wars is here. Mr. Beast killed Han Solo. Yoda's here. Oh, wait, Yoda's shoving a lightsaber up Peter Griffin's ass. And this has to do with Kevin the Cube and the overall Fortnite verse. I don't really understand what's happening. And it's just like they destroy the world. Every season now, it's like they just destroy, some big event happens that destroys the world and they create a new map. It's like just, there's no plot anymore. It's more so just, this is an event, this is a new season. And, 20 seasons in, it loses that shock value more and more and more exponentially to the point where, like, people don't really care about Fortnite events now.
Billionaire who outbids everyone on a Mercedes-Benz 300 SLR Uhlenhaut, only to cover it in a Galaxy wrap. I have never seen a more clueless yet egotistical corporation like that of Epic Games, a company which I can honestly describe as arrogant, because the people who lead this company's decisions always believe they know what's best for their games, even when they are clearly fumbling the easiest of decisions. Alright guys, I know you love the...
Yeah, but like, how do you revive Fortnite, bro? I know he's gonna say, I know you love old Fortnite, but it's like, it's the same thing, the shock value, bro. If Fortnite fully reverted to like Season 1, Season 2, no one would care. Like, it's at the point, hold on, why is this not on? It's at the point now where it wouldn't matter. Like, people would hop on it still, but Fortnite's never going to be at the player base that it was. You know what I mean? Like, it's not good. 2018 Fortnite is like such a nostalgic thing. It was so hype. I think it's the fact that battle royales are dying. Similarly to how like Dark Souls games had a huge spike, massive popularity last year or the year before, still popular now, kind of fading, kind of fading. How many, Dark Souls games are we going to have that are all set in feudal Japan and, are basically just duplicates of each other with different reskins, the same exact dark vibe, that are just like, hey, this is a new boss that you could fight. At some point, it's going to fail, right? The Dark Souls, like, I would be genuinely not shocked at all if, like, 3 years from now, like, almost no games that are announced are Souls games. Because it was at, like, Gamescom and all these other fucking announcement events, it was like every other game was either an anime game or a fucking Dark Souls game. Like a Souls-esque game. And now I think that's going to fade. Similarly, when Fortnite was popular, so was Apex, so was Warzone, so was all of them. Now they're all dying. None of them have... Are there any Battle Royale games that have maintained popularity? No.
OG season, so we're gonna bring it back.
Not to the point that, like, they had.
Woo! Except the map is gonna be, like...
PUBG? Bro.
Weird and not OG. Huh? And it's gonna be like Warzone Rebirth this time. What? Why couldn't you just leave it unchanged? I don't know how to do that. This is a development team with leadership in charge that has never heard the phrase, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Sprinting used to feel smooth. Now it's an over-engineered slog. Skins used to have rarities. Now they don't. No studio makes me as angry as Epic Games. And I don't care if it's just me. I will despise them until the globe burns. Scorched earth. Boy, who? Now you might be thinking, this YouTuber is such a negative Nancy. Total negative Nancy. Why do you hate Epic Games so much? Yeah, why do you hate Epic Games so much? Because they take good opportunities and ruin them. Case in point, these three. Lego Fortnite, Rocket...
Lego Fortnite died so fast. Oh my god. That was like, such a big deal, and then no one cared after like a week.
Opportunities and ruin them. Case in point, these three. Lego Fortnite, Rocket Racing, and Fortnite Festival.
Rocket Racing. I love Fortnite Festival. I will dick ride Fortnite Festival. I'll say that. I think Fortnite Festival is so fucking fun. It's just fucking Guitar Hero. It's literally just Guitar Hero. You just sit there and press the keys. Awesome. Love it. Right? No need for change. Rocket Racing, dud. Absolutely. I don't even think it had a hype stage.
Released as the main events of Chapter 5, these were meant to be staples on par with Battle Royale. And upon release, they each had a good amount of traction. But in a very small amount of time, they lost the majority of their players. With one of the most dramatic fall-offs being like...
Bro, it was so boring. That's really what I think of. Lego Fortnite was not fun. Lego Fortnite was not fun. I will say that. I played it for like an hour, and I was like, yeah, I'm off this.
Go Fortnite. The fascinating thing about these games is that they were actually planned years in advance. You see, back in 2017, when Fortnite was popping off, it did in fact get to Epic's head, and this is the proof. All the way back then, a sketch was made about the future of...
In 2017, PvP, PvE, survival creative, what does that say, can't? Music?
Fortnite, and how the people behind it thought it should become a hub for gaming. A place where you could enjoy music, PvP, survival, and more. You know how up your own quad crasher you gotta be to want to turn your battle royale into a multi-genre gaming hub? Can you imagine if at the height of PUBG or Apex Legends popularity they said, no, this is more than a battle royale, this is a medium. This is Epic Games.
I mean, bro, but it's like, you can't really blame them, man. They were fucking huge. Fortnite was the biggest game in the fucking world when it was out. When it was like 2017, 2018, everybody, non-gamers played Fortnite. That's why I don't even think it got to their head. Like, bro, my girlfriend, as an example, doesn't play video games at all, ever, never. She played Fortnite in 2018. Everybody played Fortnite. Literally everyone.
Unique arrogance. To their credit, it is impressive that they thought of this idea this far in advance and actually ended up doing it. But that doesn't mean they did a good job.
What is that?
For something that was so long in the making, these games were released in a
Yeah, no, I'd crash out. You spend that long of a time just building up like a really advanced base, you just press X and it all destroys.
rushed state. Probably because Epic wanted Chapter 5 to be a big spectacle.
Does Brooke like Smash Bros or Mario Kart? Smash Bros, no. Mario Kart, yeah. Bro, that's why, like, I don't think Fortnite let it get to their head. I think they did too much too quick. I think Fortnite was, bro, it had that potential. There are games that transcend gamers, and Fortnite was one of them. Mario Kart, Wii Sports is another one. What's like another game that transcends gamers? Minecraft slightly, but like if you can pull that audience of non-game, bro, you know how many gaming is more and more common and more people play video games. Like you used to be like a dweeb in like the fucking 90s if you played like Tetris and shit. You're a loser. Right now it's like very common to play video games. Everyone plays video games. Roblox, yeah, kind of transcended that as well. But it's like, if you get in that space, that's why they're trying to copy that, because it was a game that everyone played.
So they rushed these games out to meet the release deadline. But as you'll see in this video, releasing these games in a rushed state was a huge mistake, because it permanently hindered their momentum, and the amazing game hub paradise that would have been suffered as a result. LEGO Fortnite is no doubt the most infamous example. For those of you who don't know, this was essentially a Fortnite survival game with LEGO DNA, and I mean actual DNA baked into the animals. At first, there was a lot of hype for this game because it seemed to be brimming with exciting new mechanics. This was not just a gimmicky LEGO muck. There were Breath of the Wild.
I love Muck. I love Muck. Muck's such a good game. We used to play that.
Physics.
Just like a full meme game, but it's fire. Really fucking hard, too.
Dark Souls combat, advanced villagers, and even temperature that changed with biomes. However, even though there were a lot of bells and whistles, the game lacked depth and
Muck is trash Pokemon. I don't think you're thinking the same game as me. I think you're thinking of Pal World.
content to fill out those mechanics. And in less than a week, most players realized that there really wasn't that much to do. Sure, the world design was beautiful, but it also felt empty. The whole thing felt like a demo for Unreal Engine rather than a fleshed out game. And so the millions of players playing it soon turned into
Launch had 2.3 mil, present 32K.
thousands. This, of course, is nothing new. Most games don't sustain their day one popularity.
Dude, Helldivers. Oh. Helldivers was like the biggest thing ever for a week. 32K bots? No, it's not bots, bro. People are playing it. I think Helldivers had a similar issue where, dude, the game just got so boring. So boring so fast. Helldivers was so fun, and then it's like, how many times am I going to play the same fucking enemy, but they just send 10 of them at me instead of 5?
Popularity for too long. But the drop
It
off
was too repetitive.
here was
There was no difference in the game. You had the same shit, same 5 weapons.
particularly dramatic. This game went on from having a huge amount
Deep Rock Galactic's better. Bro, I actually want to play that on stream. That's on my Steam wish list. I think people would fuck with it.
of discourse to most people dropping it and forgetting that it existed. The solution to this, of course, would be to update the game and give people new content to explore. And you'd think this wouldn't be an issue. I mean, this is coming from the studio behind Fortnite Battle Royale, a game that is constantly updated. But ironically, LEGO Fortnite's updates were incredibly lacking. The game came out around December 7th, 2023, and by April 22nd, 2024, this is what the game had received. Launch pads, hunting daggers, fishing rods, and an animal pen.
They also added cars and a wrench.
Believe it or not, none of this was enough to compel most people to come back. Fast forward to last month, and all that's been added since April was a Star Wars event and fast travel. Why does this feel like an indie game? Personally, the lack of content wasn't actually a big problem for me. I'm someone who digests games.
Dude, it's literally because they fucking spread their wings so far, and then they were only able to give like 10% to 10 things versus 50% to 2 things each.
Games much slower.
Like, I think caring about one niche thing is so shown to be so successful in modern day gaming, and that's why indie devs are like pub stomping AAA game devs, because they just focus 100% of their time on one very specific mechanic that people really care about.
Than the average person. It takes me a long time to use all the content in most games I play because I tend to take things slower. Even though the player count was lower every time I hopped on the game myself, that didn't deter me from playing LEGO Fortnite, and I was perfectly content playing the game as it was. Little did I know, this naivete would lead to one of the biggest heartbreaks I may ever experience. You see, after getting hooked on the game for a couple of days, I decided I was going to build a massive project. I was inspired, convinced that even though the game was abandoned by most players, that just meant there was more room for me to shine. I was going to become the Etho of LEGO Fortnite, and the Grian of LEGO Fortnite. And you know, while we're at it, and the Mumbo Jumbo, and the B-Dubs, Vintage Beef, Corral, the idea was to build a fortress that loosely resembled the city of Whiterun from Skyrim. I planned for my build to have a foundation that held up tons of decorated houses, all the while containing an underground system beneath the city. Buildings with multiple floors that I could find myself immersed in would surround me and cause me to forget about all my real-life problems. It would all be a part of what I built for the next few months to come. The ultimate sandbox experience.
Was that the fucking Babadook?
The best part was because the LEGO villagers,
Like, that's a casual thing he deals with on a daily basis.
were so smart, they had the ability to do jobs, so I could actually have NPCs roaming my city and doing real work that made the city feel alive. The whole thing felt like playing Minecraft for the first time again. I would collect the resources I needed, fight off enemies, and enjoy the process all the way through. It was shaping up to be one of the greatest gaming experiences I had ever had. And then, something weird happened. While working on placing the upper floorboards of one of my houses, a
It just randomly glitched and destroyed everything.
banner appeared that said I was now building in a high complexity area. I didn't know what this meant, so I restarted the game. But to my horror, the message remained. Starting to fear the worst, I kept trying to install the floorboards, hoping it was only a fluke. But the message remained, hovering above my head like a cold diagnosis.
Remove builds or move away. High complexity.
To my horror, I realized I wouldn't be able to build my city anymore. I had somehow already found the limit to what LEGO Fortnite could handle. I had placed too many blocks in too much of a complex way, and now the game wouldn't let me build anymore. Suddenly, the dream.
And isn't that mad stupid? Because Legos in general are meant to be overly complex builds to create something minute and small. Like, you have a 900-piece Lego set to create something that's the size of, like, a baseball.
The life and the wife that I had imagined working towards had dissolved right before my eyes. I was so deeply excited to build this project, but now there was nothing I could do. I tried
Oh my
to
god, and just fucking abandon it.
keep building. I tried to work around it, but the game wouldn't let me place any more of my bricks. I became like Dr. Freeze, with the City of Plastic run becoming my frozen bride. It's very feasible that at that moment a large deposit of dopamine was destroyed and replaced with a void of confusion. Why do you have to take everything that makes me happy? Peter wasn't enough! Jokes aside, this really did bum me out, and I never played LEGO Fortnite again. I simply had no reason to. Why would I play a building game where I couldn't trust that my builds would be able to be completed? For once, my only limit—
Bro, I'm just like, I know I'm gonna have a crash out if they ever add Star Wars to fucking Fortnite again. It's like, in my brain, I know this is not how long it's been, but in the last 2 years, in my brain, a year and a half, Star Wars items have been in the game. And I know that's not true, but how I perceive the past is like the majority of the last few years have been like just fucking Star Wars. Every other season. Star Wars, or just like an anime like Naruto, Dragon Ball, MHA, or fucking AOT.
imagination, but
It'll be like anime Star Wars, anime Star Wars, anime Star Wars.
the game I was playing. So
Peter Griffin.
not only was LEGO Fortnite lacking in content, but even the fundamental ability to build was broken. 8 months later, the problem seems to be fixed, but I'm not convinced this game is a worthy recipient of my time. For all I know, the complexity limit could hit me again later down the line, since I was—
It's just so hard to get a player base back, man, is really what it is. Like, unless you have something that's super hype, people won't return because of bad experiences over and over again. It's easier to lose a customer than gain one. And in Fortnite's space, it's like they've done so many hype events that have been duds that it's like The Boy Who Cried Wolf. Like, if they're like, oh, this one's going to be the next biggest season, nobody cares anymore. Marvel Rivals had a similar issue where they had a really big hype phase and then it died off a little bit. And they still maintain a huge player base. I play Marvel Rivals all the time. But Marvel Rivals is so new that when they drop Deadpool, that game's going to pop off again, right? It's going to fucking spike so much because any hype they have to do is just from like one character that they have to add to a game. But in Fortnite's space, they've done so many different things that nobody just cares.
very early on my build project when it first appeared. 1 out of 10. Rocket
Splitgate 2 is under 500 players. Didn't Splitgate 2 go back to beta for a bit?
Racing was the least popular game for a reason. Not only did it lack an interesting selection of maps, but its gameplay was super cut and dry. You can accelerate, boost, drift. Sure, it plays great. The wall riding is slick and the driving is smooth, but this
It feels like a shittier Hot Wheels.
has to be one of the most uncreative games on Fortnite's platform. This game has less complexity than Only Up Fortnite, and at the moment probably less players too. This game feels like the equivalent of walking without the mental health benefits. It felt like CSGO surfing, but not as cool. It's a boring game, and that's coming from me, the guy who doesn't need a lot to be
Yeah, like if you're going to play Rocket Racing, like you're probably just going to end up playing either Rocket League, which is just another Epic Games game, or you're just going to fucking hop on like Mario Kart.
entertained. The only time I could bear to play this game was when I wanted to do something while listening to a podcast. And I don't think that's what the devs were going for. It's a bland game that barely has anything in it to make it complex. The skill ceiling feels so low you have to trench crawl to get through it. It's the most rudimentary racing game I'll probably ever play. Almost like it was created just to fulfill a corporate check.
Bro, but you know what it is? It's because they're appealing to new age kids, man. The average fucking Fortnite player now is like 12. The average Fortnite player wasn't... Dude, the average Fortnite player was like 5 years old when Fortnite dropped, you know? Like, the general average player base of a kid on Fortnite, yeah, maybe like 9, man. Like, I've seen you ever see that one clip of that guy playing a pub match in a duo? And he was like, hey, when were you born? And the kid went, 2017. I was like, dude, you were born when Fortnite dropped. Like, you didn't exist during the... Like, you were an infant during John Wick, right? That's like... So they're basically like... They had that split decision between appealing to a new audience or fucking trying to maintain their old one. And so I think a lot of their new shit is so easy because they're trying to appeal to like kids.
Box.
Hey guys, we own Rocket League now, and I don't want to end up like that guy from Smiling Friends, the chicken nugget guy, so let's put it to good use, alright? Let's make a racing game with this.
Alright, are we gonna make the game interesting? The only good thing I will say about Rocket Racing is that out of the 3 games, it felt the least glitchy. Speaking of glitchy.
You think a kindergartner is playing Fortnite? Kids today are so technologically advanced at such a young age. Dude, the average, like, cracked Fortnite player is, like, 13. Like, the average... The pro Fortnite pool is getting younger and younger because they're getting introduced... And it's not even just Fortnite. It's most video games, man. Like, the top of the ladder for competitive play is so young now... Because you got to think, bro, those are the kids that have the time to be bums, right? A 10-year-old can sit down and grind video games for 9 hours because they have nothing to do. They have no job. They have no homework. They go to school, go home, and they could just play fucking video games for 8 hours on end, right? And they study videos and watch content creators, and they just care because they want to go pro, right? Then they go pro. Not necessarily. But, like, the average kid is so much better at video games now than we used to be. Like, even if you're, like, 16 now, like, you're still in that era. Like, the average Gen Alpha kid is going to be so averagely better at video games, but worse at everything else.
Fortnite
Oh, that's just, like, straight up copyrighted.
Festival was the least polished game of the 3. This is basically Fortnite Guitar Hero. Sounds...
I think it's unpolished, but it's still so simple and easy. I will play Fortnite Festival in my free time. If I'm bored, like if I eat an edible, I'm high at night, and I'm like, damn, I don't know what I want to do. Pop on Fortnite Festival. Like me espresso. Think about me. I'm in it. Oh, at me. Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna fucking hit that shit, right?
It's awesome in concept, but the problem was that it was released with an incredibly small selection of songs. In fact, there was such a small selection that it actually caused people to fixate on the small amount of songs they could play. Since Bad Romance was one of the only songs on the roster, it actually had a mini revival. People listened to that song so many times that a whole nother generation became obsessed with it. Solely because sometimes your only choice would be between playing that or The Search by NF, which went on to be known as The Search for Better.
What about, what's that? What's the Butter Barn Hoedown? You ain't gonna play that? That shit's heat. Let me play it. Butter Barn Hoedown.
The game mechanics here were similar to Rocket Racing in that they took no more than a couple sessions to master. Hit the notes.
Oh, that's so fucking cap. That's so fucking cap. Play fucking Leonard Skinner on Fortnite Festival on fucking Expert. And if your ass gets anything better than 85%, I'm fucking commending you. Right? It's so hard. Yeah, there's certain songs that it's like you just fucking press the same goddamn button the whole time.
Notes and occasionally press the spacebar. If I'm correct, this is pretty close to the Guitar Hero formula. But the thing is, there's a very big difference between Fortnite Festival and Guitar Hero. Guitar Hero songs can get really difficult to play, and you can spend days trying to...
Well, it also feels better. I think if Fortnite, I talked to my friends about this. I think if Fortnite just released a Fortnite branded like guitar stick, it would be so much better, you know? Because I'm sitting here like a dumbass with my fucking fingers on D. I'm sitting like this. Versus like actually, oh, they have that. They did it cost a lot though. Yeah, I might buy that shit.
Master their difficulty.
I'm not even gonna lie, dude. So I can just rock Fortnite Festival better.
That's where a lot of people get hooked on it. It's that mastery.
It feels so much better on that guitar, though.
Fortnite Festival songs do not get on that same level of difficulty. I could play any song on expert mode in a few tries, and that's the high...
All right. Buddy's got a big flex here, you know? Some of us are still stuck. Some of us are still stuck on advanced, you know? It's okay.
Additionally, the game is glitchy.
For being an expert song...
I disconnected or something happened. My whole notes have just stopped. Oh, shoot, my notes are going again.
I don't know enough about how it performs today, but weeks into playing it after it first came out, there were glitches regularly happening. About 1 in 5 games would suffer from an interruption. Sometimes that would be the camera lingering on the stage for a couple minutes too long, with the game not being able to start, and other times there would be a crash if you emoted at the wrong time. Some people
I never had this issue.
even figured out how to break outside of the game's bounds. With all that being said,
Never had that issue.
I would be lying if I said the game didn't have its moments. Seeing Omni-Man shred Everlong is hilarious.
Yeah, and then hit a fat gritty when on intermission. When it's not your turn, bro, I'm just sitting there. And I'm a fucking Fortnite Jonesy, and I'm going up on stage, just ripping one.
Once that loses its novelty, the game feels pretty hollow. If it was presented on a smaller scale, like a limited time event, that would make sense. But this is a game mode that was propped up along the likes of Lego Fortnite and Battle Royale, and it just does not match their caliber. While the content of these games may have been lacking, the microtransactions certainly weren't. But
Oh yeah, no, you've got to spend so much money on Fortnite.
the funny thing is, they were also a bust. No one's buying this stuff. Allow me to present to you some of the dumbest items that have become purchasable with these games. For Rocket Racing, you've got car builds, decals, wheels, trails, and boosts that you can stare into to help you fall asleep faster.
Bro, I feel like what would make it better is if your account transferred and you could get all your Rocket League shit in Fortnite.
If you want to play songs in Fortnite
I don't know if that's a thing, but that would make it so much better.
Festival without
It does? Oh, then why the fuck would people buy skins?
them being in the free rotation, it will cost you 500 V-Bucks for the right to play them. They do function as emotes, which you can use in Battle Royale, but they're stuck on a stem player system where you can only play one part of your song at a time. This means that unless you can
I don't like how if I spend $5 for a Fortnite dance and then I play that Fortnite dance on stream, I get copyrighted and they take the entire VOD's revenue. Like, I should be able to own 5 seconds of the song. Not saying like I own the rights to it, but it should be like fair use. Like, I should not have to pay fucking a rapper money because I hit a gritty for 4 seconds in a 7-hour VOD.
find 3 other people who dished out the 500 V-Bucks for your favorite song, you'll have to perform a Buddy
That's not even a Fortnite issue, though. That's just, like, copyright in general.
Holly a cappella, or just play the bass riff, which is, like, really weird. I don't know why you'd just do that, but a lot of the virtual junk that now pollutes the store also
Turn on streamer mode? Yeah, then I just hit that shit in fucking silence. Then I'm hitting a Fortnite dance, and it's just... And I'm, like, looking like an idiot.
comes from Festival. Microphones, guitars, bass guitars, and instrument emotes. You know well that no one is buying any of this stuff in September 2024. But fear not, sometimes Festival has a battle pass. This is 1 page long, yet it costs 850 more V-Bucks than the regular battle pass. It's almost twice as expensive for 1 page. Lego Fortnite had one of these too, which reminds me, even though Lego Fortnite barely received any updates, there was one way to get more content, and it sucks. A bit after Lego Fortnite came out, these kits started appearing in the shop.
Oh, you would have to buy other houses?
And they are probably the saddest item that I will mention in this video. These are basically 3D instruction kits with what I believe are exclusive bricks. You pay to be able to build an exclusive structure in your world, like a Der Burger restaurant, just a couple evolutionary steps away from NFTs. Especially since people were able to build pretty similar stuff for free. For a virtual instruction kit, it's probably like 500 V-Bucks. Nope. 2,000 V-Bucks. Basically $20.
That's $20, right? Yeah, it's like 100 V-Bucks. 100 V-Bucks is about $1
for this ridiculous sell. You could buy a real Lego kit with that money. That's the sad dystopian part. Just buy a real kit. It's insultingly close to the piece to price ratio of a real.
Yeah, but I mean, you could say the same thing about any fucking video game skin as well. You just buy the fucking, like, dude, any like Marvel Rival skin pops out, it's fucking $20. Buying it.
Real Lego set for
buying it.
For something that isn't real. We got people.
Oh, they came out with a new Groot skin? Oh my god. Wait, Jeff the Shark has a new fucking emote?
Paying to build a virtual
buying it.
Lego set before GTA 6. I am going to give credit where credit is due and applaud Epic for where they weren't greedy. Because the cool thing about Lego mode, and another reason why it's such a shame it's not more supported, is that the skins and emotes you already own from Battle Royale can be used in Lego form at no additional cost. Which to some of you might seem like the bare minimum, but I'm honestly surprised this happened. However, because Lego Fortnite was more rushed than a Town Hall 11 with level 8 walls, many of the skins were—
oh my god, I love that reference. That gets a like. Yep. Oh, I already liked the video.
Still under construction on release.
I already liked the video.
Dozens of them had to have place
Clash of Clans mentioned.
filter skins that
instant like
look like half-baked bootlegs, and countless emotes were also missing. This is obviously because the Lego dev team clearly didn't have enough time to adapt them all. Do you notice how many problems a rushed release creates? All of these cosmetics have done an excellent job of cluttering the game's UI and filling up the shop with stuff that no one's going to buy.
Dude, I miss the 24-hour Fortnite shop. I think that really is what just pivoted everything into a fucking hellhole slowly, was when you could just get anything. Like, any fucking skin. It still is? No, it's not. There's like a fucking 9 pages of fucking stuff. It's always there.
Because the locker section
there's things that change, but like not as often.
Has to contain all of these miscellaneous cosmetics. It's way less intuitive than it used to be. And every time you look at a skin in the shop, there's a good chance you'll see a Lego version on the same skin stapled on to give it more value. And it just feels like a real and Bumblebee moment if you don't play Lego Fortnite anymore, because it crushed your dreams. I mean, think about it. The average player is only playing Battle Royale or community games and can't use these items. But now—
dude, I'm pretty sure the average player plays mainly custom games and zero builds now.
They're gonna have to see and sort through all of this junk.
Actually, no. It's probably regular build unranked and fucking customs
on a regular basis. I feel bad for who—
I don't think ranked has that big of a player base.
Ever works on Fortnite's shop, because having to include and manage all of these random items that have various values must be a headache. All for Rocket Racing to have Toontown level player counts. And the thing is, because they introduced all of these cosmetics that are tied to dying games, the baggage that Fortnite must now carry is going to be a continuous burden. Unless they want to hurt their reputation, they can't just stop supporting these games. But the player counts for the games are only going to continue to dwindle, because no matter what update you introduce to these games, the novelty is already gone, and most players are never—
well, and they just do so many collabs that just churn money, and I know it's profitable, but it's just like, dude, at some point people don't care anymore. Like, they're coming out with like a Kai Cenat Fortnite skin, which is cool, but like, I'm not gonna buy it.
Coming back. So Epic has to keep renewing licenses.
But everybody's always down to do it because they know they'll make a fucking shitload of money.
For old songs.
Dead ass? Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you come out with a fucking Fortnite skin, like Lady Gaga, like, she's making a shitload of money on people that are buying that skin.
And purchasing new ones. They have to keep building metaverse real estate Lego sets no one's using, and they have to keep producing new guitars. It's just sad how a giant like Epic Games is now stuck in this predicament because of their own poor judgment. So, what should they have done differently? Let these games bake for another year or two and introduce them one at a time. Instead of sending out unfinished games 3 at a time, because you need to have a fireworks show every time 10 seasons have ended, take your time and don't rush something that's going to be a long-term investment. Nowadays, these games have—
I fully agree with that. I don't think these ideas are bad. It's just like they're unpolished.
Improved and have been given more content. Not really Lego Fortnite. Still kind of nothing going on there somehow. But because of how they were rushed at their launch, they permanently lost momentum that they're never going to get back. A wise man once said, "A delayed game is eventually good, but a rushed game is forever bad." Sure, these games...
Yeah, I don't like when people like, for example, GTA 6, bro. People got so mad when they delayed it. I fuck with devs that delay games. At some point, it's a little too much. If they've delayed a game like 6 months, a year, 6 months, it's like, all right, just drop the fucking game already. But if you're like, I need another 6 months, I need another year, we don't want to release a game that's unfinished, that's good.
Have their audiences and they're not unplayable, but their potential was
GTA 6, that's what I'm saying.
Based
like people wanted it to come out this year. I'm like, I'd rather you drop it like late next year and it be goated versus you dropping it and it crashing or having glitches or being unfinished and the story's bad or something.
On my criticism, you might take me for someone who just wants to see Fortnite fail because I'm a Minecraft obsessed Redditor. But the reason
how Multiverses fell off? No, Multiverses fell off because they started adding the dumbest fucking characters that nobody gave a shit about. Oh my god. They were updating the game and I loved how Multiverses played, but it was like, dude, yeah, we're going to add fucking we're going to add Rick and Morty. Oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, and then we're going to add fucking, what's his name? Like, not Gimmick. What is his fucking name? He's like a little rat guy. Nobody cares. Gizmo. We're going to fucking add Gizmo. We're going to add all these other dumbass characters nobody cares about. Like, that was the big issue. And I also just think platformer games don't really perform. They don't really have big player bases anymore like they used to. Like, Smash does, and what's another one? Like there's a lot of fighting games that do well, but it's so hard to maintain a big player base on them. Like, same thing with Street Fighter 6 or Tekken. Like, they have a lot of people and a lot of dedicated fans, but they're never going to be, like, top 5 games.
Why I guess
Brawlhalla for, like, a platformer.
So critical about Fortnite is because I truly like the game. And when it does stuff right and goes in the right direction, it's always an awesome experience. I wanted these games to succeed. I poured time into Lego Fortnite because I saw the potential in it and wanted to work on it until it was unplayable for me. You know, Fortnite Festival? I actually purchased a total of 10 jam tracks to play with, which in total is an investment of 5,000 V-Bucks. You can tell I really wanted to have fun with these games. I wanted them to be good. But the ego behind this company just repeatedly ruins good potential. If these games had more time to be fleshed out, I guarantee they would have been at the same level of popularity that Battle Royale has and have been able to sustain it. But instead, they were unfortunately used as cheap gimmicks to hype up Chapter 5. And
at some point they'll make a pivot. I still believe that Fortnite at some point will have to make a pivot or it'll die because they have less players. Fortnite's not as popular as it used to be. And I think that'll continue until they just go, yeah, okay, we're going to actually drop like a fire season. But that was a good video. I still love Fortnite. I still think it's like a top 10 game for me. I want them to focus on the fucking base game so much more.